everyone, I'm Amy Wilson. We are here in Fort Worth, Texas, and I have the opportunity now to visit with Chris Grove with Equiflow. And Chris, you came by, you are a sponsor, Equiflow is a sponsor of Pink and Ruby Buckle. We have that starting next week, so Monday through Sunday we'll be in Guthrie, Oklahoma for a lot of barrel racing, but we're glad to have you here at the USTRC Finals and get to talk about Recelerate and the product Equiflow. So welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. So let's start with your background. Born and raised in Maryland and a strong background in horse racing. So just give us those details.
My dad was a jockey, so I've been in horse racing, or I was in horse racing my whole life. So grew up around horses, wanted to be a jockey, but my mother is a little bigger, so I got too big to be a jockey. I did end up 93, 94, and 95. I was the leading amateur jockey in North America, and so I did get to ride, but at a higher weight and not any money.
Oh, well, I think it's so cool that you have that kind of a background and now you want to help horses. And we see so many respiratory issues in race horses, in barrel horses, performance horses really. So kind of explain what Equiflow is. Describe what the product actually is.
So Equiflow is a stem cell derived product that we use to nebulize into the lungs to promote restoration of the lungs, gets rid of inflammation, gets rid of mucus, and it also helps tremendously with bleeders.
Yeah. So in the past, you've helped horses in other ways. Why is this something you feel so passionate about?
Because bleeding and all respiratory issues in horses is more prevalent than anybody understands, and so I want to help heal all horses, not just thoroughbreds and quarter horses, but there's a bunch of horses out there that needs this attention.
Yeah, we see a lot of products on the market, and if you have barrel horses, I'm sure you know a lot about them for people watching, but explain why Equiflow is different, like more details as far as why this product is set apart and what it can do for your horse.
So I actually, when I trained racehorses, we started injecting bowed tendons with stem cells so that they would regenerate. And I was amazed at the progress of regenerative medicine for bowed tendons. So when Carl, he's the founder of Recelerate, when he came to me, he said, let's do a respiratory product. And I said 100%, because they all have some type of respiratory issue. And so we watched that regeneration of tendons move into lungs and heal the lungs and regenerate tissue.
So really getting rid of that inflammation, and explain that more.
So it gets rid of, so with asthma, allergy, and COPD horses, or horses that have been diagnosed with that, it gets rid of the inflammation, gets rid of the mucus so that they can breathe again, gets rid of that cough that a lot of horses have, and so it's been tremendous to watch that happen.
I love this because I just think it's so prevalent to see performance horses struggling with respiratory issues. So to see a product that you can use in your nebulizer and that can help them so much is awesome. You guys will be at the Ruby Buckle. Explain kind of your presence there and how you can help people, or I guess give them more information.
We're excited to be a sponsor of the Pink Buckle, and we will be at Ruby Buckle next week in Guthrie. And we'll be at the other three, of course, but we're there to raise awareness for all respiratory issues in horses.
So one little barrel racer that we all love so much that at such a young age has already passed $1 million in career earnings and is going up really fast. Dusky Lynn Hall, she loves this product. Any details on that you can give us?
She's been on the product pushing a year now, and we were so excited to meet her, but she's very active, and she expects her horses to be active, and this product helps keep her horses up to speed every week, and she pushes them, and this product allows you to push them.
I love that. Yeah, we see her at all the big races and rodeos, and it's so much fun to see her have the success that she does.
I would love to have her enthusiasm.
I know. I know. And her horses.
And her horses. Or her hands. I'd love to have her hands. She has a great set of hands on her.
Yeah, she is a great little jockey and amazing horses. So Dusky Lynn Hall loves this product and uses it on her horses. Recelerate.com, a new website. So a lot of information there, too, as well.
We launched a brand new website in the last week, and it's all geared towards barrel racers, www.recelerate.com. We are here in Texas promoting a 36-horse study for barrel racing and bleeders that will hopefully take place in June of this year.
Oh, very interesting. I think that's also important to have the actual studies that back up, the claims of a product. So.
Yeah, and so for the last year, we've had a ton of barrel racers using the product. They put their feelings on Facebook, and so we're very excited about that. But we're now going to prove it with a clinical study.
Yeah. In the past, have your studies been more directed towards racehorses?
Yes. Everything has been
now
directed
it's shifted a
to,
little bit, yeah.
Everything has been geared towards racehorses up until about a year ago, and we've shifted to rodeo and barrel racing.
One thing that I think is really interesting, I'm not sure if you want to talk too much about this, but when you talk about a horse turning a barrel and how their lungs are in position when they're also trying to breathe and drive off, describe that and how you were explaining that to me.
Well, I'm not a vet, and I've only been associated with barrel racing for about a year now, but the way I see it is when they go into that barrel and they turn, the front end's going one direction, the back end's going another, and it kinks. And then you come out of that barrel and you ask them to giddy up, and now you've kinked the lungs, and it's going to, now you're asking for an explosion. And I think that's where a lot of the bleeding comes from.
Yeah. I hadn't ever heard it described that way, but it makes a lot of sense because you think about when you're working out and different moves that you make, and when it's harder to breathe or things like that. I know it's not a great comparison, but I thought that was an interesting point that you made. Any final thoughts on Equiflow and why people should look into it?
It's just respiratory wellness. Last fall or August, we got contacted by a lot of people up in the Northwest because of the forest fires and the air quality. Mm-hmm. And the air quality in our country is just getting worse and worse and worse. And I think for the horses' sake, you're going to have to help them recover.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, always something happening or, depending on what part of the country you're in or different seasons, such an important thing to take care of that respiratory in the horses. So thank you for coming on and for explaining this. And thank you for your sponsorship with Pink and Ruby Buckle. We're excited to have you there next week.
We are excited as well. Thank you very much.
So we've spent all this week here in Fort Worth, Texas at the USTRC Cinch National Finals of Team Roping. Next week, EQN Sports will be in Guthrie, Oklahoma for the Ruby Buckle. Again, a special thank you to Recelerate and Equiflow for being a sponsor of Pink and Ruby Buckle, and for Chris Grove coming up to tell us all about it. Definitely check it out. If you're in Guthrie, you can find them and get more information. If not, go to Recelerate.com. I'm Amy Wilson. Thanks so much for watching.